past, I used to have a bell here.
Yep, this is the tufted deer, native to the marshes of Eastern Asia. Like the muntjac, the tufted deer has tusks on the side of its mouth which are used as weapons. But, unlike many deer, the males of the tufted deer do not have antlers. In fact, tufted deer, along with musk deer and muntjacs, are considered to be the most primitive of all deer. In the wild, they mostly eat grasses and aquatic plants. And they sometimes gather in small herds, usually made up of females and fawns. Here we see the Reeve's muntjac, also known as the barking deer. They are named so because of their loud call that sounds like a Rottweiler barking, which is their alarm call should they spot a predator. In the wild, they eat marshy plants as well as fruit, and they're said to be among the most primitive of all deer because they have only short antlers, and just like with tufted deer and Chinese musk deer, they have small tusks protruding from the sides of their mouths. Trust in me, just in me. This is the reticulated python, one of the largest snakes in the world. Some of these can be up to half the length of a bowling lane. Although they have poor eyesight, they have a very good sense of smell, part of which they use by flicking their tongue in and out. In the wild, they eat monkeys, wild pigs, birds, and other small mammals. And, as is the case with all constrictors, they subdue their prey by wrapping the coils around the prey and then literally squeezing the life out of them. Every time the prey exhales, the snake squeezes harder. And if the prey just happens to be bigger than the snake itself, it can unhinge its jaws to swallow the prey. And if they eat a particularly big meal, they can go for weeks, even months without eating again. And on a side note, if you wanted to eat as much as a python, you'd have to eat a whole watermelon uncut with your hands tied behind your back. And here we see Varanus Salvador, the water monitor. Hence the name. The water monitor lizard can hunt near both fresh and salt water, and it hunts basically anything that moves near the water. Small mammals, frogs, birds, you name it, it eats it. And they can stay submerged underwater for up to 30 minutes. Much like with snakes, monitor lizards often flick their tongues in and out as their sense of smell. Although the water monitor lizards' numbers in the wild are stable, they are threatened by poaching for their skins. Now, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm feeling very batty because these guys are large flying foxes, among the biggest bats in the world. In fact, 1/4 of the world's mammal species are bats. Flying foxes are a type of fruit bat, and as such, they mainly eat fruit and nectar from flowers. And unlike the insect-eating bats, flying foxes and other fruit bats don't rely on echolocation to find their food, but rather on their senses of sight and smell, since they eat food that doesn't move. Contrary to popular belief, bats are not really blind. In fact, they can actually see very well. And also, they're not birds. They're the mammals, and they're the only mammals that can truly fly. Alright, I've been up to some monkey business lately, because here we can say hello to the Silvery Langur. Langurs are often called leaf monkeys because vast majority of their diet is made up of leaf. In fact, their stomachs have specialized bacteria that help them to break down the cellulose in their diet. Like many Old World monkeys, langurs live in large family groups with hierarchy. And many Asian cultures, most notably Hindus, regard langur monkeys as sacred. The Silvery Langur is currently listed as endangered mainly due to habitat loss and poaching. Aha! Such is the case here with their dietary preferences. They will eat fruit, but as I've said, leaves make up the bulk of their diet.
Oh, looks like they're fighting over food.
Whoa,
Whoa!
talk about monkey business.
Oh yes, they're not monkeying around either. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Yup, it's Baloo himself, the sloth bear, native to the jungles and mountain foothills of India and Sri Lanka. Sloth bears don't hibernate because they simply don't need to, because there's food all year round. Speaking of which, while they do eat things like fruit and honey, they mainly specialize in eating ants and termites. How? Because they dig open an anthill or termite mound with their sharp claws, then purse their lips to blow away any debris, and then they suck up the ants with their powerful lips. And to help with their specialized diet, unlike other bears, sloth bears lack upper incisors. The sloth bear is currently listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List due to habitat loss, poaching for their gallbladders, and the fact that cubs are often taken from their mothers to become dancing bears. On a side note though, sloth bear cubs often move about through the jungle via riding on their mother's back. 2, 3, 4, company! Halt! This is the real life Asian elephant, including little baby Rita John. Elephant calves are born after a gestation period that lasts over a year, and they can weigh 200 pounds or more at birth. And the calves get plenty of care from every elephant in the herd. Some even nurse calves that are not their own. Female elephants travel in family herds that are led by the eldest female, or the matriarch, while males live alone or in small bachelor herds. Asian elephants are significantly smaller than African elephants, usually weighing in at 11,000 pounds. Also, unlike African elephants, female Asian elephants lack tusks. An elephant's trunk has over 100,000 muscle clusters in it, which can be used to help pluck a blade of grass or even pick up a log. In the wild, they mainly eat grass, tree bark, branches, and leaves, and elephants need to eat up to 300 pounds of vegetation each day to sustain themselves. Unlike African elephant calves, Asian elephant calves usually have hair when they're very young. And elephants form very strong social bonds with each other. It is true that elephants never forget. Whenever they come across a distant cousin or old friend, they come with a wide variety of greeting methods, like stroking each other with their trunks. Even though there's no such thing as an elephant graveyard, elephants do indeed mourn their dead. And they can communicate with each other in a wide variety of vocalizations, such as the obvious trumpet, and they rumble in a low rumble that was initially thought to be a sound of indigestion, And they can communicate with each other in sounds too low in frequency for humans to hear. Thank you for the close-ups, Rita Jean. It's much appreciated. Now, when elephant calves are born, it takes them a little while to master trunk usage. So when they're super young, they have to bend over to get a drink of water. Unlike African elephants, Asian elephants have a long history of working for man. For centuries in Southeast Asia, people have used elephants for the logging industry, to carry heavy loads, plow fields, as weapons of war, even as a means of executing prisoners. And many Asian cultures hold elephants as sacred. For example, the Hindu god Ganesha has the head of an elephant. Master Shifu! Well, more specifically, his real-life counterpart of the red panda. Despite its name, the red panda is actually not related to the giant panda at all. It's in a family of its own, Ailuridae. But, like with the giant panda, a bulk of its diet consists of bamboo. In addition to China, they can also be found in the foothills and mountains of Nepal. And red pandas are real sticklers for cleanliness. They spend a lot of time licking themselves. They are mainly tree-dwelling animals, and they are incredible climbers. Such is the case with eating bamboo. And, like giant pandas, they have an extra long wrist that helps them to grasp a bamboo stalk. The red panda is an endangered species, mainly due to habitat loss. And here we see the Reeve's pheasant, native to North and Central China. Their tail feathers can measure to be up to 8 feet long, and of course they grow these magnificent feathers in hopes of winning over the ladies. Sadly though, this will not be the case here at the zoo. But then again, what can you do? In the wild, they mainly eat seeds and insects. Sadly though, the Reeve's pheasant is threatened by habitat loss as the forests are being cleared away. Here we see an entire herd of Markhor, a wild species of mountain goat. The name Markhor comes from the Persian word that means snake eater because of the male's spiraling horns. But like the ibex, it has specialized cloven hooves that help it grip to the mountains, which prevents it from slipping. In the wild, they mostly eat buds, shoots, and ground plants. And of course, the males have these magnificent horns so that they can use them in fights for mating rights. Sadly though, these magnificent horns may spell doom for the Markhor as they have become victims of poaching. Say hello to nature's original grumpy cat, the Pallas Cat, native to the mountains and deserts of Central Asia. They were named after a German scientist named Peter Pallas, and they have thick fur coats to insulate them from the cold. In the wild, they hunt small mammals and birds, and they usually take up residence within the burrows of other animals. The Pallas cat is threatened mainly due to poaching for its hide. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Behold, the Amur tiger, or as it's more famously known as, the Siberian tiger, the world's largest cat. Males can weigh over 600 pounds. The other subspecies of tiger are the Bengal tiger, Malayan tiger, Indo-Chinese tiger, South China tiger, and Sumatran tiger. Siberian tigers have much thicker fur coats than the others because it helps to insulate them from the cold. A tiger's stripe pattern is exactly like a human fingerprint. No two are exactly the same. And even without their fur, the tiger's skin has stripes. In the wild, they mainly hunt deer and wild boar.